Welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at the GitHub Copilot preview. So I've been given access to this and I've been taking a quick look at it, and I must say it's quite powerful and scary at the same time. So let's jump over now and take a look at what this actually involves. Okay, so once you've installed Copilot through VS Code and you need to connect this to a GitHub account, you'll get access to this here. So once you install the extension, they'll give you a list of getting started guides and tips on how you can actually use it. Now let's just scroll down to where this actually begins. Now to begin with, the main sort of benefits I would say is it doesn't get too much in the way when you're just writing code usually. We can carry on doing things the way you normally would. But say you're working with a new library and you want to be able to just quickly get started with something, it just works. It just knows exactly what you're trying to do. And I've seen as well some interesting little things it does when you're trying to write comments. It will try and guess what you want to write. So let's just take a quick look here with just an example repository I've got here. So one thing it can do, so let's say we have this page here, we're not very happy with how it's structured, and we want some ideas around how we could do this differently. All I need to do is just go up here, hold down Control, press Enter, and it's going to come up with some suggestions on how I could write this differently. So it uses the AI of lots of different repositories that GitHub has. It just goes through and it's analyzed this over time to be quite powerful. Now some of this, again, because it's really early with all of this, some of this you would just want to ignore, but there could be some things where you're like, hang on, this is a better type than I have at the moment, as you can see here. So it could be like, okay, this is actually quite useful for me. And so on. There could be some things you can take. There's a lot of it that you might not. I mean, this is just assuming that I have a directory in a certain way, so that you probably wouldn't want to use. But some parts here you can see it actually is quite useful. And if we keep scrolling down, you can see this one here. It's not really getting any props here, and so on. You can just scroll through. This is guessing the structure of my directory, which in this case it is wrong. But you can see here, it's just coming up with suggestions that you can use, which can be quite powerful. But if we just close that, what we're going to do here is just start giving it some prompts of what to write. So if I make a comment here and say, write a function to convert the date. So we're being quite generic here. So if we then press Enter, it's going to suggest things for us. So we're saying here, to a format that can be used in the URL, and convert the date to a readable format. So it's guessing here what we might want to do. So if we just so what I'm doing here to accept these suggestions is I'm pressing Tab, and then to get the next suggestion, I'm just pressing Enter. So by pressing Tab, it's going to move along here. Then when I press Enter, it's going to start writing this for me. So if I press Tab again, you can see it's coming up with a function that was exactly what we asked for, even though we only had to write this first part here. It's telling us exactly what it's going to do, and then it's written it, which is, it's crazy when you think about it. If I select all of this and do Control Enter, let's see if it will have any alternative suggestions for what it's already written here. So again, okay, so this is, convert date to readable. So it's rewriting its own function. Another option here, and another one, so you can see it will just come up with lots of different suggestions for you. But yeah, I've only been using it for like a couple of days so far, but it looks like it can be, the potential of this is huge, and it's quite scary at times how accurate it is. Like if you just start writing, here it's suggesting you want to add pagination, which is interesting. If I was to do that, what's it gonna, okay, it's not gonna suggest anything there. What about if I said pagination? There you go. It's written this for me. So if I do that, it's not got any. Oh, there we go. So I'd say if you are using this, you can go straight to the GitHub Copilot website and put your name down to get access. So at the minute you can download the extension, but you have to log in through your GitHub account. So you can't actually use it until that's been connected to your account. But if you do get access and start using it, I'd recommend, carefully look at what it's suggesting. Don't just, as in any other code that you might search for, read through it, get a deep understanding of what you're actually doing, rather than just blindly accepting things. But it's scary how accurate this is. And if we just look back at the docs here, you can see some of the you can get this little bar that appears, so you can go through different suggestions. You can get more suggestions again, like by pressing Control and Enter, and it would just generate code for you. So if we look at this here, find all images. So if we were to type that, let's see if it will run on here for us as well. No, it doesn't seem to want to do that. So it is a bit, it's not perfect by any means yet. But yeah, this is another example. So say you're working within a framework. So if I just make a new file here. So I've made a new file called test.js. I'm just going to type this in. There we go. So it's going to write this out for us. Boom. So it's quite interesting how it will just work this out for you. Now, it's not going to be perfect all the time, but the potential for this, like I say, is absolutely huge. And the consequences will be quite interesting as well. But like I say, this is what it looks like so far. I've only been using it for a short amount of time, but it does seem very, very interesting from what I've seen so far. I definitely recommend signing up. I'll put a link in the description to where you can sign up for the beta of this, and yeah, get a feel for how this works. So basically as well, so the more code you have, the more context it can take in about what you are trying to do, and it will make more accurate suggestions. So if you've got just a brand new project and you're trying to use it at the start, it might not be too useful. Once you've already got a few files around, if you're using TypeScript as well, you can get much more understanding of the types that it can use. But yeah, just be careful not to just accept everything that it suggests. But this is a quick look at GitHub Copilot. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.